Good evening and welcome, dear listeners, to the sports program. I am your host, Shanchithung Murry for Akashvani Kohima. This evening, we will be talking to Mr. Ankur Sangpang Rai. He is the first badminton athlete from Nagaland to attend an international badminton stint in the year 2010 at PB Muay Thai in Bundang, Indonesia from 3rd March till 18th May. He is also the first shuttler from the state of Nagaland to have represented India overseas in professional BWF tournaments. He is also a BWF World Badminton Federation Level 1 certified coach. He attended the BWF Level 1 Coaches Education course in the year 2017 from 16th to the 22nd of July at Shillong, Meghalaya. Initiated by the Badminton World Federation BWF under the aegis of the Badminton Association of India BAI and Meghalaya Badminton Association MBA. He will be participating as one of the senior players representing Kohima District at the 47th Inter-District Badminton Championship, which will be held at Chümoukedima from the 29th of July till 1st August. Thank you so much, Mr. Rai, for giving us your time.
Thank you so much for having me.
So you are one of the most senior players in our state. We are very proud of you. We hope that you do well. How is the preparation going on?
I think this time the KDBA Association has done quite well by inviting over a very senior and experienced senior athlete who happens to also be a coach, and I trained Mr. Tajinao. I think he and myself in the year 2017, like you earlier mentioned, we both did the Badminton World Federation Level 1 coaches training and cleared it together. So having such kind of people with such kind of experience, I think it's a great wonder. And he was earlier known as a very fit athlete, and I think in his All India Police Meet he's done significantly well, and also in his veterans also he's played finals in the national. So I think it's a great thing for our capital badminton shuttlers to learn from him and see how we can improve more. Yeah.
So you mentioned that you recently came back from Delhi and then you've only just got back to badminton again. So how has the preparation been going on? What is the primary focus for you during these training sessions that is going on right now?
I think comparing my age, I think I'm not like an athlete who is at his prime at the 21 to 25, 28. So as of now, it has only been 3 weeks since we started this camp, and I think I'm recovering as of now from my
Physically?
Yeah, physically. So another 2 weeks to go, and I think my primary focus would be to not be injured during the matches and be able to play to the optimum level. Yeah, that is what I'm focusing now at the moment, and maybe to crack some matches, difficult matches, which could add a point to our capital district team. Yeah.
So you mentioned that you were training physically and trying to get up to speed, but how about your mental status? How important is it for you to be mentally strong?
Oh yeah, I think this is a sport wherein not only the physical, but you need to be very sound mentally also. But it needs to go hand in hand. If you only do the physical aspect, then on the mental perspect, you'll be lacking. And only if you do in the mental perspect, then physically you'll not be able to reach out to those fit athletes.
So both of them
should go in parallelly. So I think for the mental, this past 25 to I think 2.5 decades of experience will definitely be a major booster for me, and it will add in my physical also. So hoping that my experience counts in. Yeah.
So you have been participating in a lot of tournaments, not only in Kohima, but also in Nagaland. And not only in Nagaland, also in Northeast and India and internationally as well, right? So how have your experiences been so far, and what lessons have you learned from all of your adventures that you have gone out?
I think it has been a roller coaster ride for me. I think those experiences were not only about badminton. It was understanding the whole ecosystem, the environment, because I have I think it was my luck or my a boon in disguise that I got to train with some of the finest athletes from India, and also with some of the coaches who had trained Olympians in Indonesia also. So I think I like to break down things into 2-3 bullet points. No? Firstly, I think it's a stage-wise process for any individual. To become an international athlete, it's not jumping hurdles or jumping long strides. It is like a stepwise. You need to crawl, and you need to learn to walk. Then you need to learn to jog, then stride, then sprint. No? So district, if you do well, you get selected to the states. If you do well in states, you get selected to the zonal, and if you do well in zonals, you get selections in the nationals. And there is a criteria in our national association that if you are in the top 100, you'll get to represent India. So there are two patterns. One is the core team. So getting an individual or getting a slot in the core team is not very easy. As you know, our populous country, 140 crore and ongoing.
Tell me about the core team, please. Can you elaborate and make us understand what that means?
I mean, like I was explaining, these are some of the initial phases, to clear and to reach that podium, or at least to reach that status, you need to, clear all this basics. Mm-hmm. So second thing is, the ecosystem that I earlier mentioned. Mm-hmm. Ecosystem, what I mean to say is, it starts from the infra, it starts with the sparring partners, it starts with the daily mentoring as a coach or a senior player. It can be anybody. And the doctors team, the psychologists, the psychiatrists, the physiotherapist, and also the nutritionist, diet physician. Most importantly, I think for any organization or any firm or any association to strive and survive, one major and one very important thing is the finances. Mm-hmm. Of which I think our association, every associations in our state has been struggling with,
lacking a little bit.
Yeah. So managing the finances are slightly difficult. It has been difficult since some time, but I am expecting that this way our new generation of players don't get to go through all those that our seniors or we had gone through. No? So I think what I learned from this participation and from my journey is, here in Nagaland, if we are to prosper and excel in the sport, we need to build up an ecosystem wherein things like the doctors, the medical prospect, the finances, the administration, the governing council, and then the one who are totally focused on this court and players. No? It needs to be set up, and it needs to be wonderfully done. That not only that, those athletes, we need to convince and the parents also that even by playing sports, one individual can survive, right? Because I think the concept, if we don't work it among the parents, it becomes very difficult. As it has been a mythical concept, that only if you study, if you top, you will get sustained government job. No? So that has become a very old myth, so which we need to break it from, right? So there are a lot of career prospects even in sports. So this journey taught me such kind of things, that what we can bring here, which is already existent there, and those countries or states that have been doing well, we can learn from them. So these are some out of the many that I got to know. Yeah.
So you've been playing in a lot of different places, both in the state and outside of the state, and in the international arena as well. How do you adapt playing styles based on your opponent? Or do you just stick to what you know and what your strengths are? How do you play that?
So, for me, I think I didn't have a professional mentor or a professional coach in my journey. So specifically talking about my strengths and my weakness, I think it might not be very proper or feasible, because those kind of technical and tactical prospect I think me and my generation plus my seniors also didn't go through. Basically, it's all about how to hit the shuttlecock properly at the right point of time and how to retrieve any shuttles at a given point of time. So during our time, I think our coaches used to grind us, in the physical prospect. So he used to, tell us all athletes, this process is about loading. Training is all about loading. Unless you load.
What do you mean by loading?
Loading means those pressure building trainings and all, na? Where given at any given instant.
Kicking on the
Yes,
pressure.
yes, yes, yes.
Okay, okay.
Not to an intense level. I mean, not to those level where you ruin your health, but to some level where you build up good resistance that in any environment you play or against any opponent you play, at least you don't come losing like failed something. I mean, at least you get to give a good fight and maybe give a tough fight and then maybe win also at times. So basically, for any individual or athlete in badminton, is retrieving is always there. And I think some have got good power, some have got good endurance, some have got good wrist skills. So
Going into this inter-district championship, what do you think is your most important tactical advantage?
oh, like I said, I was once an aggressive player, finisher. But as you age on, those optimum fitness level is, if you don't maintain, it drains down. So I'm not at my optimum level. But yes, my 2.5 decades long experience, my playing experience, is I think what is going to be a positive prospect for me, and I look forward to adding up all my experiences and putting in place to effectively crack some matches or win, or at least if not give a good strategy wins against my opponents for our capital district. Yeah.
A lot of people think that badminton is just a recreational sport, but it's a very demanding sport, isn't it? And so, being a very demanding and a competitive sport, I'm sure there are a lot of injuries also. What are some of the most common injuries that a badminton player encounters?
I think we mostly use our lower limbs quite a lot. So and then the playing hand. Na? Basically, those playing hands, the athletes they suffer from tennis elbow or shoulder injuries, and yes, lower back, knee, and ankle, calf. This kind of ACL tear, the ligament injuries. It's all very common and very prevalent. And an athlete who has not suffered any injuries is like an athlete gifted, because I think 90 to 95% of the athletes, they if they are seriously playing, they undergo I think a big injury once in their lifetime, and which sustains till they are there.
Which is very understandable because if you're not giving your full effort, then probably you're not doing well. Yeah, so
Also, I think I'd like to add in, the prospect of the question that you mentioned. It's like people take it for granted. It's a very what kind of sport? I must say that it's a very demanding sport. I think it's a very demanding, high demanding aerobic sport. Let me share you this result which has been shared, I think, recently in the social medias also, and also it has been a hype in articles also. So I think it was more than 2 decades that some universities from Western or Europe, they focused more in about this sport, and after 20 years and more of this research in this particular sport, they came down to a conclusion that if you participate in this sport, or if you start playing this sport also as a recreation, the lung health and the upper chest regions health, it improves drastically. It improves phenomenally.
your cardio.
Yes, and not only that, I mean, it has been found that playing this sport prolongs your longevity by 10 to 20 years, depending upon your lifestyle. That is, that is just at an approximation. And this is such a sport. Once the shuttle flies in the air, unless the shuttle gets down in the floor, you need to rally. So in a fraction of seconds, in a matter of seconds, your cognitive abilities, your body functions, this is an agile, explosive sport where you need to strategize within milliseconds, right? So I find this very engaging, very competing, not non-monotonous, and very, what do you say, exciting form of sport. And you can play this sport 24/7 because this is an indoor sport. So I think what I request and suggest is, to those all who's saying that this is just a mere sport, is a lady sport, you kindly come and try participating in playing this sport. Maybe you will get to know what this sport has to give in, and what it takes to be an athlete of the sport. No? Yeah.
How do you handle your in-game momentum shifts? Sometimes you might be like 5 points behind, 5 points down, or something like that. What motivates you to come back?
I think everything doesn't happen at an instant. Na? It is the hard hours of practice. Not only the hard hours. I mean, your consistency and dedicating to the sport. Your daily practice, your daily activities. This all adds into your character of the game. Na? So I think this has a lot to do not only with your practice inside the court, but also with your dedication and also your daily activities and your daily lifestyle also. So I think at times, since you specifically mentioned that what do you do if you are down 5 points, so I think mental workouts, mental stability workouts, like we already discussed, the physical, physiological, and then the mental aspect. If you have been working in this prospect, then if you are not so much excited, and taking much pressure, like I'm 5 points down and my opponent is about to reach, I'll have to trail him. So if you can maintain that calm and composure, then I think you can. Slowly, get back to your rhythm and catch hold of that deficit, and then maybe try and win the match, or at least give it neck to neck fight also. Yeah, I feel that. Yeah.
So currently, Mr. Tajin Ao is your senior coach. How is the training going on? And
I think our coach doesn't here. What he's now doing is, he's bringing in his experience, because it is not and consistent. I mean, that our district has a constant mentoring. So, just for 30 to 45 days of coaching camp, I think no coach can do justice, even if you bring the national coach also. Because, like I said, daily and consistent loading will give an unload which can be very enormous, right? So what our current coach for the KDBA is doing is, he's practically trying to implement what can be done for this particular championships. So I think he once a couple of times he shared to me that since the time is very limited, will not be able to broadly focus on every major aspect, but on specific prospect and on the conditions and type of court that you are going to play. I think we'll have to stick to it and focus more on that. So I think he's doing that.
okay,
Yeah.
I was interviewing one of the coaches of the Nagaland Taekwondo Association, and then he was mentioning that when they go for national championships and even in the international arenas as well, apparently all the other countries have individual coaches,
Yeah.
right? And so for us, even in badminton, for our district, Kohima district, we only have one coach, right? We don't have individual coaches, do we? Yeah. So, do you think that having individual coaches for each player would play a very advantageous role, or is that something that only foreign countries or foreign players do?
I think different countries have got a different work ethics. Na? That 1:1 ratio is, I think that is basically for those athletes at the optimum level. I think those world class athletes, world champions, and Olympic medalists. For them, I think 1:1 ratio is good. But the price paying for the coach per month, it's enormous again. They'll have to pay, I think, 3 to 5 lakhs per month for those type of coaches, and those coaches are also, those type of coaches who has done significantly well during the juniors in the international or national level, and also in the seniors. So this doesn't come very, cheap. One downside to it is, say, though you might have a one-on-one attention, but to win a sport in such a competitive discipline, you need sparring partners. You need a different set of variational players. So, to adjust all those also, it needs some governing council and the administration also. And one-on-one is, either you need to be a very well-paid athlete who is being endorsed quite well by some brands. If not, then it's not feasible. Or you need to have a good financial background. And I think that is what I was referring to, the ecosystem earlier in the questions that you added in. So this is what I meant to say by ecosystem. This all adds in the ecosystem, right? So that one-on-one coach is the highest level of thing that we are to be discussing, right? Here at the grassroots level also, we don't have a dedicated coach who would be there 24/7 to his or her athletes who are beginners, intermediates, and advanced level. And for that also we need some infra, right? Because for bigger tournaments like nationals and internationals, the minimum criteria is, at least 6 to 8 courts is mandatory and must to conduct national and international events. So for that we don't have an infra, and playing in 2-court stadium, 3-court stadium is way different than playing in 8-court to 15-court stadium. If you play in a bigger court, a bigger stadium, I don't know if most of our players have had that experience. There is a drift, and such stadiums has got AC halls also. So because of the AC, there is some drifting going on with the shuttlecocks also. So those kind of experience we are, if you don't have that infra, we are exempted from those. So unless things comes up in line, the ecosystem comes up in line, we will not be able to produce players who will be performing and winning medals at the world or global level. So this is what I mean.
So, as a player preparing for this inter-district championship, what is your mental attitude right now? Are you ready to be like very aggressive, or are you going to just hold back a little bit and just size up your opponents, or are you going to go on full on?
Like I already mentioned partly in some of the questions that you already asked me. I think I can't be aggressive at this age, because the recovery also matters. If I go aggressive in one match, then for me recovering would be slightly prolonging than an athlete who is in the prime 21 to 25 to an athlete who is in the mid 30s. No? So yes, I'll not be very out and aggressive, but yeah, at times if there will be any opportunities, I'll be very opportunistic in this prospect. Right. To be aggressive in this prospect, and also to play in a hot and humid condition like that. If you go all out, then recovery will be a very big matter. Yeah. So that is one thing. So I'll be like relying more on retrieving, right, and not going out and about to be more aggressive. But yes, if opportunity prevails, I'll be aggressive. If not, then I'll be trying to play retrievingly, and with the experiences, my past experiences, I'll try to add in. Yeah.
So, team dynamics and team chemistry. How many players will be representing Kohima this time?
As per the pro forma, as per the criteria, as per the format, like I mentioned, it is based on the national BAI's constitutional and the criteria. That for every district, you get 2 set of singles in men's, in junior boys, in junior girls, and women's. So 2 singles in all. But there is only 1 doubles. So, and 1 mixed doubles. So in every category, I think in men's category there will be 2 singles, 1 doubles. Women's also 2 singles, women singles, and 1 women doubles, and 1 mixed doubles. So I think 1, 2, 3, 6, 7 in the seniors, and also in the juniors also it's 7.
What do you think is the prospect for Kohima district this time? Is the team strong? Are individual players strong?
Individually, if you analyze and observe, I think we have got some athletes who may do and who can do significantly well in their respective categories, but they should not be burdened, saying that since we don't have players, we need to participate in both the events or both the categories or both this and that, right? So I think this sport nowadays has been so professional that if there is a singles athlete, he'll be focusing more on singles category. So what we earlier had was a singles athlete would also be playing in the mix also and also be playing in the double. So this era has to stop and end, because if you are taking this sport seriously and if you are to take this sport professionally, you have to focus in one, right? So I think if this understanding is maintained and understood by the officials and also by the coach and then the athletes, I think we'll be able to bag some good medals or have a good finish in the podium also. Yeah.
So what you're saying is Team Kohima is strong, right?
Yeah, and that was my indirect answer to you. Yeah. I can't be very direct, but you're smart enough to have understood this. Yeah. True.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Rai, for giving me your time. And it's been wonderful to discuss the upcoming championship with you. So all the best to you, and thank you once again for giving us your time to Akashvani Kohima.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Akashvani Kohima and brother Shanchithung Murry, for this wonderful opportunity for this interview, where I could possibly, share in my insights about the sport. Looking forward to more of such prospects in days to come. And once again, I thank you for the wonderful wishes for our team and for us again. It was a pleasure.
All the best to you.
Pleasure again. Thank you, man.
Thank you so much for tuning in, dear listeners. This will be all. Until next week, this is your host, Shanchithung Murry, signing off for Akashvani Kohima.